I'm a writer, but really I'm a game developer, right? That's the form I like my writing to come in. I love games. While I do writing in other places, I do little snippets. Like I'll do, like that's sometimes why I like to be on Blue Sky now or previously Twitter or whatever. It was just because I'm writing, I mean, there's jokes, there's what little connections I like to do. But like the longer form stuff, I really like to put into games, which makes me so jealous of musicians. I think musicians out of everybody. I mean, artists as well can do this with pieces, but like you can have an idea and you could form it and you could get it out there that day. You could share it with people. They could see it and whatever. But man, a game. That's why I'm always looking towards tools and ways to try to like do an experiment of what can you do in a month kind of thing. Because games, man, you have this great idea and it is such a good idea and it's timely and it's great and it's gonna take you 3 years to do. And that's like, when I say 3 years, that's like something sizable, right? I know there's some people who do quicker things and stuff, and it's really been something I've been thinking about a lot, of trying to do the challenge of like just trying to do something in a year, and what is that thing in the year you can do? It's a year still though, like that's like the best I could do. I mean, there's game jam stuff, right, that you do in 3 days. 3 days, okay, I mean, sometimes songs take 3 days to make, right? You go back and forth and all of that, but you can also just have that idea and have it come out, but you can't have that in games. Like, it is so hard that way. And I wonder, as we get more and more tools to allow you to do it quicker, if the problem is going to be is those games are going to be unsatisfying and kind of just more generic because they're like everything else because the tools to make them are limited in what they can do. I think a lot of like when you look at stuff kind of like, Roblox, Fortnite, and all those allow a wide creation range. They're still capped in a weird way, and then the monetization, that's really weird. And I would do it for free, except I don't want to do it for a big company that makes a bunch of money off my back that I don't share, right? I'm always like a little bit always more interested. These TikToks or now YouTube's are going to be a little bit more interesting just because there's like a little bit of money attached. I don't care. I actually buy games for our community often with the money or indie games for myself, but like it's not the money, but it's like the tracking, right? It's the numbers going up and how you do that and what that happens. But games are just so hard. Games are just so hard to do that and have that be the way, and I wonder if that's always going to be true. That is the mulling over of the holidays as we think of next year, of if you just use all the generic tools and move quickly, are you going to make something generic, or can you still make something really special? And I think like source modding is what I look at often as some really weird and strange, very character-driven, weird, strange stuff that I've played that have worked for me. I mean, there's some of it's gameplay as well, right? But some of the really weird, strange ones that stuck with me have been about the writing and the characters, and then the game on top of it. It works well. I think. Oh my God, I got to check for 1 second. Hang on. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. Brendan Young, who did 30 Flights of Loving. Check out 30 Flights of Loving. As look at this weird, strange. It's not a game, it's a playable movie kind of thing. And it came out a decade ago, so maybe it's not going to hold out for the first-time viewer as much. But like that was this neat little expression done inside of the Quake or the Doom engine. That's just like this really simple, but yet cool, and it's all just the personality of it. And so it may just be the art and the personality is what drives things that are done that way. But yeah, I look at AAA and all the layoffs and everything, and like that's not sustainable for them. Those giant teams. I joke, and it's true, there were more studios that made Far Cry 6 than people who shipped the 1.0 version of the Anacrusis. More studios with hundreds, if not thousands of people working there versus the Anacrusis. Now, obviously, they sold a gajillion copies and they made their money back, but like this is not sustainable for making mistakes or having problems. Like, playing through Call of Duty on Friday, like we did a team, hey, last day before the holidays, let's just play games. We played Call of Duty. And I don't know why. Because it has the thing of we thought we could play the zombie mode, but the zombie mode's only 3 players. We'd forgotten that. And there's 4 of us. And so then we ended up playing some Battle Royale and just got our asses handed to us and stuff. But like the expression inside of there is so janky. And their modding is like McDonald's or something. Like it is so clean and so like, hey, do you want to be this character in this game? Oh my God, you're Han Solo. Right? And Fortnite does this as well, where the modding isn't interesting to me anymore because it's just so sanitized and so generic and so lifeless. And now Fortnite's got that other player mode, and they're doing some stuff there, and maybe something will come from there as well. And maybe there is just going to become these monolithic games that everybody else lives inside of, and that's the way. It's kind of like websites, right? I used to have a website. Yeah, no one goes to websites anymore. I don't have a website. I still have. I have chetsucks.com. It's true. But like I used to like that you would find and discover these things, and Steam's kept these little small indie devs and this exploration and these kind of cool things alive. But I was going through and I was like, hey, I'm gonna play something that I had on my list. What did I play yesterday? I played some of Sprawl. It was like this little shooter, and like the numbers are so low. The game, whatever. It's a movement shooter, right? Like I'm kind of fascinated with the kind of place where indie FPSs have landed, where they don't try to make their AAA version, but they make very specific versions of either like almost bullet hells and FPS or movement things. I think that's interesting. And maybe that's the thing. That's the place they live, and they keep it independent, and people still buy them. I mean, Game Pass is this amazing deal. I have Game Pass because why not? It just delivers me free games all the time that I don't have to buy. So if I'm really hardcore, I'm going to have that. So if, like we experience, if your game's on Game Pass, you're not going to sell on Steam. So, and we had a lot of other problems as well, right? I'm not saying that. So, it's that good for consumers? Is that bad for devs? I mean, you have to make enough money there, but then that caps how much money you can make, and I made a video about that. Should talk about that again sometime. But yeah, so that is my mulling over as we go into the holidays of like, it isn't just what to make, but what's the right approach to make it if you want to do it professionally. And again, I say professionally, not that like I'm fine, but I like to do it with other people because I'm limited in my skill. But I may try something more like what's like not being with a bunch of other people. I don't probably fail bad. And then, I think you see things like, Lethal Company, which is one person who knocked it out of the park. There's not that game. And then that game like is this weird thing of like, he's done a bunch of other stuff. So he had a community to start that who understood what they were going to play was my understanding. Because there's no way that's a good game if you don't know it's a good game. Does that make sense? Like going into it, you would dismiss it unless you realized what it was, right? And it's a really great, you should do a bigger breakdown of all the beautiful things they do in that game. He does in that game, one person. So yeah, I guess just be more skilled. Yeah, get good. Get good, I guess, could be the response for me making games. That's fair. But yeah, I'm kind of curious of how people think about that, about the industry, and like how much longer are small individual games going to be able to exist in an ecosystem? Is the only place they really exist anymore is on Steam, because they don't exist on mobile either, right? On mobile, the ad industry just drove all the game development about being about ads and user acquisition and not about gameplay, and just removed the ability for anybody to ever want to pay $1 for a game on mobile. And I mean, some people still try, and maybe some people find some success, but for the most part, they don't. And now you can't even make ad money. So I don't know. Cheerful mood. Except I next week, holiday week, get to play my game with other people, with friends I have from Discord Online. And for all the proponents of like, third place is dead, nobody just hangs out with friends, I'm gonna hang out with friends inside a game and play, because that's what I like to do. So I don't know if I'm gonna do another update before the holiday, before Christmas. Maybe not. But if not, have a good Christmas. Otherwise, I will see you. Actually, someone probably say something that pisses me off, and I am so reactionary, stupid. Oh God, I should make that a New Year's pledge.